Studio on ESPN Asheville, and it is time for the most important message of the day.
Don't do crimes!
And this is probably one of the most frightening stories that I've seen in a while. I love restaurants. You know, as a fat redneck, I really, really enjoy a good restaurant. But I really, really enjoy clean restaurants above all else. And there is a town over in the UK called Maidstone where they did an accounting of the restaurants in the town, and they found that 9 out of 10 restaurants in Maidstone are displaying their health rankings incorrectly. Like, you know how here in America we have the little score. Right, you go by every restaurant, every fast food restaurant. It's right there in the drive-through window. We got a 89 on our health inspection, which is not a good score. If you see an 89, you might want to think, something's wrong there. Jeremy, you've dabbled in the food business, you know, run bars and such like that. So you know much more about this than I do. Is it against the law to put a fake score up in the window here in America?
Yeah, that wouldn't end well for you.
I mean, I don't know if it's an actual, actually against the law.
Yes, it is.
It is. Okay. Yes. All right. It is. It's not in the UK. It's not illegal for them to have the fake scores. They use a star system. So it's like a scale of 4 stars. So if you got 4 stars, obviously that's the cleanest. Some, like I said, businesses here, 21 out of the 22 businesses in the city center all had 3-star or below or no rating, and all of them had the fake rating up, obviously, to make people think that this is a healthy establishment. It is against trade laws there, but it hasn't gone that far. Basically, they're getting a reprimand right now, but I think I would move out of this town if I lived there. Like, I can't trust any of you. You're telling me every restaurant owner in this town is corrupt? Oh, okay. Now I'm done. Now I'm out of here. What's the lowest score you've ever seen advertised?
Oh, you wouldn't see it advertised. I've seen them quite low.
I've seen a 78 before, and I think that's the lowest one I've ever seen.
Yeah, you would at least in most states here, a score that low, you would just shut the restaurant down, so you would never actually see it posted.
I think it was in Georgia I think it was like a drive-through in Georgia.
Georgia is
and I was like,
different state.
Yes, it is a different state. Thank you for pointing
No.
that out.
I mean, law in terms of restaurant law-wise, I don't know.
Like what the cutoff is for just shuttering the place?
Yeah, North Carolina, you get below a 90, and you're going to have issues with this state.
Mm-hmm.
My story is from the state of Utah. It's about one Michael Lee Murray, 35. He bought a car at a dealership, and he didn't love the car. It was a Subaru. Paid $4,000 for it. Got it home. Was dissatisfied with his purchase. So he brought it back to Tim Dale Mazda. Said he wanted his money back. The only problem is that the car was sold as is. Tank, do you know what the phrase "as is" means?
How you see it is how it comes.
As is means you are legally indemnifying the establishment from which you are buying the vehicle from any issues that it could have because you're acknowledging that it has them. Tim Dale Mazda has said, we told the kid that we would not have put this car on our lot. He signed off on that. It was very well explicitly told to him, but it was not enough for him. He became irate when they told him he could not have his money back. He said, you will regret this. They tried to calm him down, say, there are things we could do to get around this. But Mr. Murray drove out to the Subaru and ran it through the front door of the dealership. He then got out, started screaming obscenities that were caught on video, which made it pretty easy for them to go, hey, he did it. He was the one that did it.
Mm-hmm.
Bad call. Nobody was injured during the incident, but the damages were estimated at $10,000 to the dealership.
Phew. And guess what, brother? You're on the hook for every cent of that.
He was offered. They did offer his money back, according to an affiliate with a dealership.
Yeah.
Or a different car. Wasn't enough. He still rammed it through the front end of the dealership. He was arrested, released on $10,000 bail.
Well, that makes it even worse. They offered you what you wanted, and you still decided, nah, I need to do $10,000 in damage to this place and go to jail.
He told Inside Edition, I was just really angry, upset about my money. I just kind of blacked out for a second. I guess I just hit a breaking point.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
He's going to find out a new breaking point.
Yeah, his new breaking point is going to be when he has to pay for the damage that he just did to the front of that dealership. If you're upset about $4,000, wait till you get the estimate on that bill.
Yeah. And then wait till you have to start paying alimony and child support. There's no way that marriage is staying together. You did what?
I don't know if he was married or not.
Oh, jeez. All right. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. I think it was suggested, the YouTube blipped out on me, but I believe it got suggested that tomorrow on our Football Thursday that we talk about the winners or the surprise teams of the 2024 NFL season.
I think it's a brilliant idea. I also thought it was a given. That was already what we were planning on doing.
Well, we didn't say that to each other. I saw it mentioned. I figured I'd throw it out there just so we've got the mental note of what tomorrow's daily draft should be. So today we did the biggest disappointments, and tomorrow we'll do the biggest surprises. Who's way better than we thought they were going to be in this season? Today we've had the big breaking news came down that Bill Belichick will be the next head coach of the North Carolina Tar Heels.
ESPN says the ball's still in his court and it's not done yet.
Well, we know an offer's been made, and we know the Board of Trustees is meeting. And there's no really other reason why the Board of Trustees would be meeting right now unless it was we need to approve this deal.
They're approving everything.
Yes.
I'll guarantee you, as I went down the rabbit hole, according to ESPN, the issues still left to resolve were the potential role for Steve Belichick.
Mm-hmm.
That's a given, of course. If I understand why you would be reticent to make him the coach in waiting, but if this is what it requires, then this is what it requires.
Right. There also may be a salary thing to that.
North Carolina's NIL resources. Belichick's salary and resources for the staff and reporting structure. Yeah, I don't hear anything there that holds this deal up. Really don't.
No. Because you should be able to find whatever money he needs.
Well, you've got
I would think that I was going to say the pockets are deep enough. It's all just whether you want to commit that money. Because everybody's looking at the spreadsheet and going, okay, well, if we commit $20 million to the football program, then that means we have X amount left for basketball. And in a place like Chapel Hill, when you see that number so large on one side and so little on the other side, and you go, wait a minute, that smaller number's the one we actually care about. That's our brand. It's hard to get into a new mindset. But again, I go back to if you want to play in this game and you want that brand to grow and not die off with the waning of interest in college basketball, because there's no doubt that has occurred.
Well, I mean, college basketball's borderline irrelevant at this point. I mean, on the national landscape, it's 100% irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
It's still relevant here because we're in a basketball state. But if you want me to put college basketball in a box for you, I can. Charlie Baker just came out and said he was bullish that the NCAA would be able to expand their tournament to 72 or 76 teams in the very near future. Do you know why he says they can't expand it further than that?
Why?
Because they have to schedule the games before the start of the Masters, or CBS won't cover it. If this tournament were to get into the Masters, they're out.
Mm-hmm.
What's that tell you? Does that not just scream from the mountaintops? Oh, yeah, I mean, I get that the Masters is really good, but it's still golf. You're telling us this must be done by then. It would almost be like having a political rally. You're running for political office, and I've got some real traction, and you book a high school gym, and they say, well, you can have your rally here. That's fine, but you've got to be out by 6 o'clock because the over 75 polka dancing team is coming in here. That would really tell you how much they actually believe in you. I mean, we're happy to have you here, candidate, but we believe in you so much that we got to get Das Polkas in here.
I'd love to know what the number breakdown on that is. How much money CBS would make on the tournament as opposed to what they make on the Masters. Because that's a big buy. That is a big ad buy for the Masters.
Oh,
with all of those, Rolex and Jaguar and all of the fancy ass companies that advertise during golf. I could totally see why CBS would be out on that idea.
So they estimate that the worth of the NCAA tournament is $1 billion.
Mm-hmm.
That's how much the television contract on it is worth.
Really?
They re-signed it. This is a year or two ago.
Yeah, but that's what CBS pays for 10 years.
No. It's $1 billion a year.
Really?
They extended it 8 years, and it cost $8.8 billion to extend it. That was 9 years ago. Good Lord. I didn't look at the byline of the story.
Whoa.
Yeah, it won't get that again, I promise you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what it rated last year.
Who knows? I know it's gotten way less of my eyeballs. And it's not just because Jeremy Green tells me that it is irrelevant. It's exactly what Jeremy Green did tell me, though, was coming when all of this started. All of the NIL and the transfers willy-nilly and the freedom of movement of players. You've come to the point where unless you're locked in, unless you are just nerdy over your team, you don't know who the hell these guys are.
Well, I mean, basketball killed it. You did this to yourself. You killed yourself here. The NBA started it, and college basketball finished it off.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're poorly run. What do you want? You ran it into the ground. What do you want me to do? I have players. I couldn't name you 3 guys on Carolina's roster right now. By the end of the year, I'll be able to.
Mm-hmm.
Just in time for them to leave. That's not a sustainable business model.
Yep.
I told you to implement the 3-year rule that the NCAA has for football and baseball. I told you to install that 5 years ago. Do you see that I'm right now? Well, we would lose Cooper Flagg. I get that. How many people are watching Cooper Flagg right now anyway?
Mm-hmm.
You get 2 weeks in March with him. That's it.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. That'll wrap it up for us on a Wednesday. We'll be back with you with a Threadbare Thursday tomorrow in the kickoff of Week 15 in the NFL.
All right, we're all set for the party. I've trimmed the tree, hung the mistletoe, and paired all those weird-shaped knives and forks with the appropriate cheeses. And I plugged in the Bartesian.
Bartesian?
It's a home cocktail maker that makes over 60 premium cocktails, plus a whole lot of seasonal favorites, too. I just got it for $50 off. So, how about a Cosmopolitan or a mistletoe margarita?
I'm thirsty.
Watch. I just pop in a capsule, choose my strength, and...
Wow, it's beginning to feel more seasonal in here already.
If your holiday party doesn't have a bartender, then you become the bartender. Unless you've got a Bartesian, because Bartesian crafts every cocktail perfectly in as little as 30 seconds. And I just got it for $50 off.
'Tis the season to be jollier.
Add some holiday flavor to every celebration with the sleek, sophisticated home cocktail maker, Bartesian. Get $50 off any cocktail maker at bartesian.com/cocktail. That's BARTESIAN.com/cocktail.
The PayPal app has amazingly low prices for holiday shopping. Get cashback offers in the app, and when you use the PayPal debit card, PayPal stacks 5% more in the monthly category of your choosing on up to $1,000 in purchases. Don't just pay, PayPal.
Did you apply for FEMA help after the recent disaster and want to know the status of your application or how to appeal an eligibility decision?
It's easy to reach FEMA. Call 800-621-3362.
Does FEMA have your current contact information?
If you're not sure, call 800-621-3362 because FEMA may need more information to help you. Remember, call 800-621-3362 or go online to disasterassistance.gov.
Dan Scott here, inviting you to check out my new show every Sunday, 8 to 9 a.m. here on ESPN Asheville, where we bring sports and faith together. The Dan Scott Show, 8 a.m. Sundays on ESPN Asheville.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. Our purpose, to improve lives with every interaction. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. Like Trent and Doug, whose first instinct was to fill their trucks with supplies and drive to the hardest hit areas in those first hours. Like Eric, who hosted the football team to support their neighbors and begin the cleanup efforts. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. That's parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.